Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Be glad there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Source of guidance. How can we possibly shine our light for others if we're asking anyone else for answers? The answer to that one is we can't. Now, I absolutely believe that anybody can benefit from therapy, spiritual guidance. However, a counselor with integrity will never give you an answer. I want you to listen to that very carefully. As a counselor or therapist with any integrity will never give you an answer. They will guide you to find the answer within. If they ever start telling you, oh yes, get your pendulum out, oh yes, you need to do this, yes, you need to do that, run the other way. Because they've got their own agenda going, they've got their own ego involved, and it's not your answer. But even light workers like many of us can find ourselves in darkness, can't we? Yes, we can. I mean, that's part of this physical experience. The beauty of the darkness is, well, Bob Ross. Everybody remember Bob Ross, the TV artist? Oh, my dad loved him. My brother loved him. He was a white guy with the fro. Yeah, cool dude. He said, you need, and this is from his perspective as an artist, you need the dark in order to show the light. So maybe, just maybe, part of your work is to learn how to find the light in that darkness and trust both. Knowing I'd be talking soon after the solstice and Christmas, apparently this is a perfect subject because, up until yesterday, I didn't know we were going to have a song about the light and the Hanukkah, and, this is, everything is very synchronistic, which I love. Did a talk on synchronicity, too. I wanted to continue that theme with the light, and I guess we're doing that today. And how can we navigate our way through the darkness? Now, before I share these tools, I want to say that darkness doesn't have to be something existential. It just has to be something as simple as an old upset with a friend that you just can't seem to let go of, or an adult child who's just annoying the crap out of you. It happens. That's what I've heard. But embrace that darkness and know that it has a super positive intention for you. And that intention is almost always growth and lessons to get you to grow to the next level. So, my first practical tool, because we're here for practical spirituality, right? I'm not going to give you some foo-foo stuff. No, I love foo-foo stuff too, but I'll just say. So the first practical tool I recommend is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue and spying on your thoughts. What exactly are you telling yourself about yourself or about the situation you may be in? If you're telling yourself anything negative whatsoever, you're in the darkness. Are you hearing every single conversation you had with your loved one or with a doctor with the same outcome? Are you replaying the entire breakup scene just over and over in your head, maybe the whole event leading up to the breakup? Are you replaying it in your mind? You're even hearing theme music, aren't you? Memories like the corners. Okay, you're just really, you know what you're doing there? You're creating a sequel to that movie, that epic movie in your mind. Do you really want to create that sequel? No. The only answer to that is no, and thank you. I'm just going to give you that one. How's that working out for you? So it doesn't matter if you feel sadness, anger, anxiety. Here's just one very quick and simplified way. It's really a way, like just before you need to dial 911. This is a really simplified way to change your emotional state about that. It's very effective. You want to get to a quiet, as soon as you feel that bubbling up, whatever that emotion is, and you feel that bubbling up, you want to get yourself in a nice, quiet space, because you need to focus now. Start with that movie, because like I said, if you're having a super negative feeling towards it, you're playing that epic movie over and over, and it's coming up with the same ending, isn't it? Yeah, that's not good. So I want you to turn that Technicolor movie into a still image, one still image, okay? Take that still color image and then turn it into black and white. Very carefully, just turn it into black and white. And you can shift it back and forth if you like. You can go black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. And then when you get a really clear image of that black and white image, clear vision of that black and white image, it's probably going to be right here, because you're still having some negative attachment to it. But by this time, by the time it's black and white and you've shifted it a few times, you're probably starting to feel a lot better. Now I want you to take that image, that black and white image now, and start pushing it away. Push it away, and when you're in meditation or when you're in your car because you're trying to talk yourself down or whatever it is, just physically move your hands. Push that image away so that it's on the other goal line. That's 100 yards, so I figured that's a pretty safe bet. But you want to get it down to maybe a postage-size stamp. And you will immediately feel the difference between how you felt to start with that epic movie and the theme music and the sequel going on, to something really insignificant. In the big scheme of things, insignificant. So, if you're not feeling really a lot better after that, call me. There's a lot more intricate steps in that, but that's just a really quick way for you to take the charge off of whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. So next is the burning bowl ritual. I love fire, don't you? Yeah. Okay. Maybe for different reasons, but this is a really good and fun way because it's a harmless way to transmute any situation and cleanse it with fire. That may seem antithetical to our loving ministry here, but when you're sitting on the floor at 2 in the morning, looking at photographs, listening to those love songs you two shared back in high school, and your cat's looking a little worried, a good stiff burning bowl might just be the ticket. Might just be the ticket. So let's say you're having a meltdown about the way your ex broke up with you. Not that he or she is gone, but just the way it all came down. What is it that you want out of that situation? What is it you want out of that situation? Because it's not going to change. It's happened and it's over. And any leftover emotions are not for your long-term benefit, spiritually, emotionally, or physically. And it can't be that you want them to change or them to behave different. Viktor Frankl said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. I know why the caged bird sings. And from a purely spiritual perspective, fire represents our inner light as well as the connection to the divine. And now I love rituals with fire. I'm a double fire sign in astrological terms, so maybe that's why, I'm not sure. But if you've ever stared into a fireplace or a bonfire, campfire, you know exactly what I mean. It's hypnotic. There's something beautiful about watching that fire. It's transforming all types of energy. It's just beautiful. It also, if you're going to stare at a light and stare into the fire, it helps to orient or to focus or to ground ourselves emotionally and spiritually. So it sounds simple enough, right? But there's just one more little detail, is that you have to decide what it is you're willing to release in order to get what you're asking for. Yeah, that's where it really gets tricky. And that's where the real work of trusting your inner guidance is. You want a new relationship? You got to be willing to let that old one go first. If you want a new job with a great boss, you got to quit griping about your old boss. You might believe you've let it go, but if you still think the thing and feel grief, anger, resentment, or maybe even fear, you've got to release it completely and bless it with love, compassion, and forgiveness. Which leads us to the second part of the ritual, which is the candle lighting. Now I love using candle lighting too. It symbolically shines the light on our shadows within. And we all know what the shadows are, right? They're just beliefs that we have about ourselves that aren't true. So why is this important? Because in order to eliminate the unhealthy emotions, you've got to expose the old programs that run automatically, or the old beliefs about yourself. Because I promise you, underneath depression, fear, maybe even rage, is a negative belief about yourself. In fact, a beautiful mantra, I'm to share this with you, and I just want you to know this whole thing, as crazy as it is, and I'll tell you a little bit about it later, but this, I'm going to post this up as a blog, so you can get the steps, or you can get all the information afterwards. I'll have it on our website. But this beautiful mantra that I heard Gabrielle Bernstein say, I think it's part of the Course of Miracles. I don't know yet because I haven't taken the course yet, but I will next month, or 2 months. It's a beautiful mantra that while you're doing this part of the ritual and shining the light on the shadows, you say to yourself, the light did not create the belief that I'm not worthy of love, and so it's not real. The light did not create the belief that I'm incapable of a good job, so it's not real. These are just a couple of the stinky beliefs that may be hiding inside and casting shade on your inner light. But for the ritual, it's best to use a real candle, but if you can't, I suggest using one of those battery-operated ones that flicker. Take a few minutes to stare into the light, allow your mind to empty, allow the flame to put you in a meditative state or very relaxed state, and locate any place in your body that you might feel cold or tight. So you're going to write what you want, you're going to write what you're willing to release, and you take both of those and you place them in the fire. Let it burn out naturally. You can do this with a friend, but I recommend that you do it alone, because sometimes we have to go through the darkness alone before we can see the light. I have a few more steps, but I'm going to skip over those because I think that's enough for you to swallow in one day. I just want to end with Marianne Williamson. She popularized the term playing small, in which our actions are motivated by our fears, insecurities, low self-worth, and scarcity. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be this brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? I know it's a hard answer. The better question is, who are you not to be? Your playing small doesn't serve the world, and it certainly doesn't serve you. So play big, play bold, turn your hobby into a business, take that trip you've been wanting, finish your degree, anything you've been holding back on. Trust it. Trust the light within. Darkness is not a force of itself, it's just the absence of trust of your light. We are stars wrapped in skin. The light you're seeking has always been within. Learn to trust in that light any way that you can, to be the light worker you were born to be. Thank you. And with that, I'm Reverend Kimberly Kelly here at the Center of Universal Light in Cottonwood, Arizona. And it's been...
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks for being here today. Everybody braved the cold. You know, it was 23 degrees when I got up today.
Celsius.
And my dog's crossing her legs. And I'm like, yeah, do you really have to go? All right.
Thank you, Reverend Kimberly.
Thank you, darling. Oh, thank you.